All right.
All right.
This is Booty Whiskey.
Booty Whiskey.
We're giving you another holiday bonus episode.
That's right.
It's
Thanksgiving.
outside of our usual season 1 arc of Nicolas Cage. Wholly independent.
Holy time.
It's feeling very fallish, and we watched a Thanksgiving movie called Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Cue the music. I'm your host, Patrick William, and I'm here with
Austin Jenny.
the co-host, co-conspirator.
That's... what am I conspirating towards?
It's all a big conspiracy, man.
No, Booty Whiskey.
Yeah. This was a weird movie, dude.
Yeah. I loved it, though.
It was pretty fantastic for horror movie enthusiasts.
Yes, not the standard Thanksgiving movie I've ever seen, for sure.
I would say it's actually more of a Halloween movie.
Yeah,
than a Thanksgiving movie.
Pretty much only. The only thing Thanksgiving about this movie is its general theme.
Yes.
But
it's kind of ironic given that we did Nightmare Before Christmas for Halloween, which there's debate if that's Christmas or Halloween.
Not great debate.
But then we did this movie for Thanksgiving, and it's a Halloween movie for sure, right?
I mean, yeah, only.
It's a movie that you want to watch around Halloween because it's a straight up slasher horror.
Just gory slashing.
It's super gory.
That's it. It got me a couple times too, man.
It was disgusting.
Yeah.
I guess like upfront trigger warning, we're going to be describing, not in detail or anything, but
We go into a little detail.
we're going to say the words that describe some pretty brutal murders, like lots of knife penetration and stuff like that.
Just boat penetration.
Skin peeling.
Yeah. It's a lot.
It was
Fingers
nasty.
coming off
It was
everywhere.
nasty. So
Yeah.
if you're like squeamish or you've been stabbed or something like
Kaylin seemed to not enjoy it.
Yeah, Kaylin was struggling to watch. And to be fair, like, so was I. Like, I was closing my eyes when people were getting their fingers cut off with bandsaws and stuff like that.
Yeah, when that lady was being roasted.
Oh, yeah. It was dark.
Yes, it was. But it was good. I would watch it again, eventually, with like a group of people.
I think it was a really fun movie, and I would also watch it again gladly.
Yeah, definitely.
I would say that this movie knows exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Has no qualms about like what its identity is. The people that made it from a place of love and reverence for this genre.
Yeah, and why don't you go into deeper who made it and what it's based off of?
The director is Eli Roth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not super familiar with like most of what he's done, to be perfectly honest.
You seen Hostel?
I have not seen Hostel.
Oh, damn, you gotta watch classics just like this.
Yeah.
Slasher, big time.
I kind of know what it was. I know it came out like right around Saw during that wave of like hyper gory
Final
movies.
Destination.
Yeah. I was like not that interested in them at the time, but yeah, I should check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a piece of the tapestry of all of what's going on.
That's right. Piece by piece.
But interestingly, and we actually talked about this in the last Halloween episode. Eli Roth is the director who did the spoof Thanksgiving murder fake movie trailer in front of the Grindhouse. It was either in front of the first one or between the two, whatever. He did a trailer called Thanksgiving or like Thanksgiving Killing or something like that. And I joked about how like we wanted to watch this movie for Thanksgiving. It was like, they're just doing the Grindhouse trailer. They're just making it real. It's the actual guy
This is fully real. That's
who
just
did
true.
who did the trailer. It's just Eli Roth's idea.
And would you remind me what Grindhouse is?
Yeah, Grindhouse was a collaborative double feature between Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino. They each did one movie and then released them as a double feature.
Cool.
And between the movies, there were like fake trailers, and it was all set in like sort of like a 70s theater aesthetic. So like the old film reel stuff. It was set to be like nostalgic for people who actually used to go see those double feature movies.
Totally.
it's named after a Grindhouse theater. That's like what the theaters were called. And it was a bunch of like low budget, usually hyper gory, like action horror movies. And people would go just nerd out. Watch them.
That's what we did.
Tromaville.
Fucking Tromaville. Hey, adaptation's coming out soon.
I actually saw that the creator of Tromaville was coming out with something new.
Ooh, fun.
And that the writer of adaptation, the other brother,
Yeah.
Kaufman, well, they're both Kaufmans.
the smart Kaufman.
What's the smart Kaufman's first name?
Charlie?
Charlie Kaufman.
Yeah.
And then it's Lloyd Kaufman.
Gotcha.
Charlie Kaufman is also writing something. We'll have to look into the details on what each of those projects are.
And see them both in theaters.
Yeah, double feature.
Double
Grindhouse.
feature.
Kaufman Grindhouse.
Yeah, man, I love this movie. It was a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything stand out as like particularly juicy, like takeaways?
Yeah, definitely. I think they played the whodunit aspect of it really well. Like, I truly was guessing vocally with everyone,
Yeah.
the whole time.
we were playing the classic game of like, okay, everyone throw out your guess. Like, who do you think did it?
Yeah.
They give you the obvious sort of red herrings. Like, oh, is it the disgruntled store manager?
Yeah.
Is it the ex-boyfriend who left town after the trampling? Like,
Or the new boyfriend.
new boyfriend who's kind of a dick.
There's a lot of shitty people in this show.
And we are going to spoil the movie for you. So if you're wanting to stop the episode now, go watch the movie and come back.
Yeah,
this
definitely.
is your chance to do it. Waiting. I was proud of myself because I was pretty much calling it as the sheriff since like about the halfway mark.
Yeah, I had no idea. I never really put the pieces together.
I didn't have hard evidence, but there was just something up with like that character. He was very like centrally involved in all of the ongoing investigation, which I guess makes sense because he's a sheriff, but I don't know, his character just felt like he had no other role to play but to be nosing around.
The potential bad guy.
The one thing that really, once I noticed it, it would like locked it in for me. The one clue that gave it away was when they're all sat around the table and you realize that they're in the John Carver like historical building.
Yes.
I remembered earlier in the movie that building was vandalized and the sheriff was like, I'm going to have to lock this down. No one comes in because this is now an active crime scene. It's evidence.
Yeah.
And once I realized they're in that building, I was like, well, no one had access except the police department.
No, that's just him.
That's him. So, yeah, from that point on, I was really positive it was going to be the sheriff. And then
And it certainly was.
It came true.
Yeah. No, but I thought they did a really good job of just making it ambiguous for the most part until those last climatic scenes.
Yeah.
Where they really start getting down to brass tacks. It was...
I want to talk about the opening. The Right Mart Black Friday.
Reichmark, you mean? Reichmart?
That was what the protesters
Yeah,
sign said. Reichmark. They're calling him Reichmart. Calling them Hitler and stuff.
Well, it was pretty rough, dude.
It was really stressful, like anxiety-inducing scene.
Yeah.
So here's the setting for the listeners. We're in front of a Walmart clone called Right Mart. We're in the parking lot. It's Black Friday. Everyone is like pressing up against these gates and yelling and like they can't wait to get inside. And you've got like 2 security guards. That's it.
Yeah.
One is played by Tim Dillon, who was very funny in this movie.
He was. It was perfect.
Yeah. He played the role perfectly. I don't think it was like distracting that it was him.
No.
Sometimes when it's like a known person,
Totally.
you get hung up on that. But no, he fit the role.
Yeah.
Like pretty well.
He could easily be mall security.
Yeah. He was mall security, Walmart security.
Yes.
And he was sort of a total coward too. Like the second that people decided like, fuck it, we're charging through, we're going to ram the gates down.
Yeah.
He bolted.
Gone, dude.
But yeah, we've got like a ton of people a massive crowd.
Hundreds and hundreds.
Swarming. They're like breaking in. The doors are locked and they like shatter the glass and push over the entire frame of the sliding
on
doors.
The glass was so ridiculous, dude.
It was like one of those scenes where you're in like an aquarium or something, and like there's water on the other side,
and then
it starts to fissure. The glass is cracking. You're like, my God.
Oh, God.
But it's just like air, and it's just inside outside. But it starts ominously cracking, and people are like pressing up against the door.
Dude. Oh, man. Yeah, it was pretty overdone, if you know what I mean, but not in a horrible way. Like, they were purposely being really extra.
It was comedically hammy. Like, they were leaning into the fact, and that's what I liked about this movie overall. They were leaning into the fact that these types of movies are cheesy, and then doubling down on the cheese and making it, like, twice as gory, twice as brutal.
Yeah.
Every character archetype is twice as stupid and one-dimensional. It's like if you're playing the jock football player,
like, such a dick.
He's such an asshole. He's so stupid. He's like, what? I can't write essays and do my homework and play football. Like, if you're a nerd, you're a nerd. If you're a burnout, you're a burnout.
Yeah.
Every character is so one-dimensional.
God, I loved that burnout.
In a good way.
Yes. 100%.
Because they know what this is. This is like a silly, campy horror movie that you're watching to laugh and close your eyes and be like, and like,
so gory.
I can't believe she just did the splits on the trampoline and landed on a knife, dude.
Oh. And should we get into some of these creative kills?
Yeah. So, okay, first one was really sets the tone. During the Black Friday stampede, they break these doors down and shatter the glass, and like within the first 10 people coming in, this guy like walks through and gets pushed, and his neck gets severed on the broken glass of the door,
just like
instantly just spewing blood and bleeds out on the floor in the front of this Walmart.
Seriously.
Right, Mark.
Right, Mark. That's horrible. And then the lady's getting her hair caught in like shopping carts and her scalp.
So she falls, she gets knocked onto the ground, and then a like rampaging woman with a cart, like running, like shoves the cart so hard it hits her in the side of the head and snaps her neck. She dies instantly.
Oh, seriously?
And then her hair is tangled in the cart, and they're pulling it away, and it peels off her flesh.
Yeah.
She gets like scalped by removal of hair via a cartwheel.
That was pretty rough.
Yeah, and that is the love interest of the sheriff.
Mm-hmm. That's why this all went down.
Yeah, so ultimately this is a revenge-killing movie where the sheriff is getting revenge on all the greedy townspeople who killed his love interest.
And his baby. His love
she was
interest
pregnant.
Of course.
And she died because of essentially just American consumerism, like greed and consumerism starts on Black Friday.
Yeah, the crowd mentality in that scene was horrible. I hate seeing that sort of thing, because I mean it actually does lead to that happens, in riots, in uncontrollable situations like that. People get trampled all the time.
You hit the fever pitch of like enough people yelling, shoving, like one thing happens and everyone rushes. It's really a stampede.
Yeah.
And people got the security guard who was trying to unlock the door gets trampled when the door collapses in on him and killed.
Yep.
The woman gets killed. The guy coming into the door gets his throat cut by the glass. I think those were the only 3 deaths in the first scene. But I mean, that's a lot of death for a Black Friday shopping scene.
Like literally the guy who fucking gets his neck cut, he reaches the waffle maker that he wanted. Yeah. And is like stumbling down, falling.
He gets back up, musters enough strength while he's bleeding out to like get his waffle maker.
Yeah. And then some bitch takes it off of his dying corpse, dog.
She's like, that's mine.
Yeah. This is my product. I'm the consumer now.
Yeah. If there was any sort of message or meaning to take from this movie, it was that consumerism bad.
Yeah.
Greed
bad.
Toxic.
Ooh.
Be a better person. Like But there's not much to that. It's
No.
just sort of a surface level theme.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's no other.
It's just something that's there to give the villain a motivation.
Yes. Little meaning insertion.
Yeah.
Bam.
Okay, other notable deaths.
Corn cobs. Did you call that so good?
Oh, the corn cobs.
Corn cobs.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so this cheerleader is sitting in front of her mirror, like doing her makeup and stuff, and she takes an
Q-tip.
a Q-tip,
Yeah.
an earwax remover is what I was gonna say.
You know those things.
I'm good with words.
I'm a worder. No big deal.
She takes a Q-tip and she's like cleaning her ears, and the camera zooms in on the ears, and the second it did that, I was like, oh, like she's gonna get corn on the cob skewers in both ears, and like literally like 4 seconds later,
It was so perfect. And the corn on the cob things have little smiley faces on them. Just
like right in. I thought it was sort of a cool film technique how when he removed the corn on the cob things,
yeah.
she had a ring. It was like a ringing sound in the scene. Like,
it's like
she
almost
lost her hearing, and
Totally.
we were experiencing that.
Yeah, it's like the after effects of like a flashbang almost.
Yeah.
You know, she's sitting there like stumbling too. She has no balance whatsoever.
Yeah, her whole equilibrium is thrown off because her eardrums just got
Ooh,
popped.
that would be so fucked.
Yeah,
Man.
just like falling over and bleeding from your head.
No, thank you.
Yeah. And then how was she actually ultimately killed?
She's the one that got some reason there was a saw. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what she got her.
I think she didn't die in that scene. She was
No.
kidnapped in that scene,
Yeah.
taken back to the safe house where he's setting the table. And we should talk about that as well. But she was like put in a fridge, but she was actually still alive, and she gets killed later
Yeah. And
with a
it's
bandsaw, like a table saw.
bandsaw. Yeah, her fingers and guts and all this stuff.
Yeah,
It's
her intestines are coming out.
just the normal run of the mill stuff, you know.
Her boyfriend is like holding her. He's like, "What do I do?" It's like, "Jessica, what do I do?" Scene just ends.
God damn.
I want to talk about that character too, because he was for lack of a better word, he's the token black character.
Yeah.
Right? Every horror movie has that character going back to the 70s. And it's a major trope at this point.
Yeah.
Right? It's like almost if you don't have one black guy in your horror movie, it almost feels like what are we doing here? It's like so ingrained, right?
Yeah.
And this movie played every trope like so directly and so hard.
Yeah.
Except that's the only one it subverted.
True, huh?
The black guy did not die first.
No, did he?
And actually, he didn't die at all.
Yeah.
And he's actually one of the few characters in the whole movie that acts with any sense of agency
Yeah,
and
he does.
rationality.
He's like, he's got to get the gun.
He's like, we got to go get a gun.
Yeah.
He's like, the cops aren't doing anything. We need to stay strapped. He's making like active plans.
Yeah.
He's working with the main like lead female character who like is ultimately the main protagonist, but he's got to be like the secondary lead if there is one.
Yeah.
Outside of maybe the villain.
Villain
sheriff.
and boyfriends, kind of. But yeah, he seems like the only one with a brain on his head.
Yeah. And it's funny because at the beginning of the movie, he doesn't come across that way, or at least like they're not taking pains to like show you his brain.
Yeah.
He's just a football jock
Yeah.
in the first third of the movie.
Yeah, just not as mean as the other one.
But once the killings start firing up, like his sense of self-preservation really kicks in.
Dude, it was awesome.
And yeah, he doesn't die. He doesn't die first. He actually acts rationally. He has a plan. So I actually thought that was a really cool, like reversal of fortune, I guess.
Yeah.
Specifically because they played every other trope.
Yeah.
Like straight.
Yeah.
It's everything that you expect from a typical horror movie. They just subverted the black guy dies first.
That's an awesome choice. If
Yeah.
you're going to do that, that's super cool.
Yeah, man. The black guy's been dying first for way too long.
Literally 50 years, almost 60 now.
dude.
Yeah.
So you heard it here first. Eli Roth made the right move. Black people are not expendable, not even in horror movies.
Yeah.
And
Correct.
respect to Eli Roth for subverting that one trope, because it really, for me, it added like this thoughtfulness to
Yeah.
it.
I mean, what does killing them do? Nothing. It does nothing for the plot, you know?
No, the original reason it's a thing is because America's racist.
Yeah.
They put a black person in because, black people exist in America. So they're like, well, we need
Representation.
at least one of them. Like, that's the Hollywood agent mentality, right? Yeah. If you're in the 80s and you're making those movies, it's like, you got to get a black guy in there. It's like, okay, but only one. And we're going to kill him off very quickly.
As soon as possible.
That was the racist mentality of the industry, for sure, which led to the trope. And then it became, almost ironic.
Yeah.
Like a badge of honor.
Yeah.
For the black guy to die first. It's becomes humorous because it's been done so many times. Mm-hmm. But now we've finally gotten to the point where it's almost poignant that he doesn't die first. And totally. It's a statement.
Yeah. It's a good statement.
Yeah.
Booty Whiskey stands by these statements.
I just thought it was cool, and I liked that it's like a love letter to the genre in every way. And then that's the one thing they flipped almost as a way of saying, I love this genre, but let's just do this one thing better.
Yeah, definitely. We don't have to don't have to follow all these old stupid tropes.
Yeah.
We can change them to be better.
They still did the dumb, horny teenagers die. If you're having sex, you die.
No sex allowed.
Yeah,
Death.
So you get the puritanical stuff still.
Yeah.
The girl on the trampoline and her boyfriend were going into this back room to go have sex. Mm-hmm. And they die a gruesome death.
I did not like the trampoline death at all. I hate it. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. God.
I hate stabbings.
Yeah.
But I also really hate the idea of anyone's genitals being tampered with.
Yeah, that's horrible.
And she does a full splits on a trampoline onto a knife.
Yeah. First, it's her foot, and then her hand, and then it's in the middle.
3 or 4 stabs. The knife keeps moving around the trampoline, and she keeps bouncing and landing on it again.
God damn it. And she's what? She's trying to do a striptease show for her boyfriend, and the guy just walks up, turns his head all the way around.
Cracks the head.
God.
Just completely ruins him. So this villain keeps setting the table.
The table, which
we should talk about it.
Which he uploads onto Instagram.
Oh yeah, there's the whole element of the live streaming and social media hype stuff going viral.
Yeah. So what? He sets the table. He sets a big Thanksgiving table, right? Feast table.
Everyone's got a plate.
Yes, with a name card. And he tags all of the victims, the upcoming victims, on Instagram. And this gets progressively worse because every person he kills gets added to the table.
He keeps collecting their bodies, keeping parts their head or their torso, and placing them in their seat or putting their head on their plate next to their name tag.
So stupid.
And he's creating a Thanksgiving feast.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, he kidnaps our sort of the last remaining people, the lead girl, the black guy, the dad.
With his infinite ammo tranquil dart.
His tranquilizer gun that can shoot 5 darts out of it. But he brings them all to the table, and they're gagged and bound. And there's severed heads and dead bodies everywhere. Perfect. And he's going around live streaming it, telling everyone that they have to say what they're thankful for.
Does anyone say anything? No, just the one jock just says, help me, right? Yeah,
he gives the jock the first opportunity to say what he's thankful for, and the guy's just, help! And then he beats his head in and caves it in with a hammer, like a meat tenderizer.
Great.
But a really big one.
That was a really big
I have a meat tenderizer. The head is that big. It's for little cutlets.
Yeah.
This was a meat tenderizer that would shatter this pumpkin.
Oh, it's industrial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He obliterates that jock's skull.
Yeah.
On live stream.
On live. Thanks, chat.
Live. There's a whole theme in this movie of going viral and sort of the sin of being an attention whore.
Mm-hmm.
Part of why this whole plot even happens is because they're live streaming during the riot in the first scene.
That, and a year after the event, the main shitty jock made a big video post about it. Remember that we saw?
And so it's moralizing you like you shouldn't be an attention whore. Your whole life doesn't need to be on Insta Live.
Mm-hmm.
Put the phone down and just like live your life. Otherwise, I'm gonna come bash your head in with a meat tenderizer.
That seems a bit extreme.
It is, Eli. It's a bit extreme.
It's a bit extreme. Well, I just want chat to praise me.
But yeah, the setting of the table has sort of an ultimate culmination in the wife being basted in olive oil with a brush. She's like tied up on... No, actually, she's just unconscious because she gets up and runs away and escapes.
Yes.
Well, she doesn't escape all the way. He hits her with a pitchfork in the back. But,
spears her.
But she's not tied up. She's just like unconscious on the table, and he's basting her whole body with olive oil and a brush.
Really, essentially, it felt...
It's like ASMR. You can hear it. It's like...
He's sitting there slowly brushing on strokes of olive oil.
And then he's like salting... He's salting her with like this large coarse like sea salt.
Gets the little grinder out.
Pepper.
Dude.
Parsley between the toes.
It killed me. Just the way he gently laid the parsley right in between her toe.
Her big toe and the second toe. Like it's like a full branch of parsley.
Yes.
And he's just like dressing her body, basting it, salting it, parsleying it.
Ridiculous.
And he has a full like crematorium oven in the back room that he's like warming up.
Why is that there?
Yeah, dude he brought that in.
He installed... You can't bring that in by yourself, dog.
He installed that solo.
Plot hole. Eli.
Eli! How did he get the crematorium oven in the historical site?
I can't disassemble that house. What are you doing?
Yeah, that house was not built to receive industrial equipment.
No, there's the
from
venting.
the 1700s.
Dude, no proper vents.
Wasn't that also like there was some sort of apartment connected to it where he was living because he had like his live streaming
like downstairs and stuff?
Like his apartment was above it. Because the woman gets up, she runs away. He's like stalking her with a pitchfork.
Did he build a secret Thanksgiving killing bunker in the 1700s house?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's pretty cool.
And he was doing his base of operations in the apartment attached to it. There was like technology, like these blinking lights and satellite phones and
nonsense.
Shit. Just like a table of tech that he was doing to like spoof his GPS data or something. My God. He was using multiple phones to like throw off the GPS. And then he just had like a shitty thin mattress in the corner with a sleeping bag. So he was living there in his little tech center.
Ugh.
Yeah.
With his creepy pilgrim mask and hat.
Yeah. Completely obsessive over these high schoolers.
That's no good, man. That's no good at all.
It's not good. The blunderbuss.
Blunderbuss.
There's a great character in this movie. Yeah. I don't recall his name. I don't recall the names of any characters in this movie.
Unimportant.
He wears a jean jacket.
Yeah.
He's really into metal.
He has parties for high schoolers. He sells them alcohol.
Yeah, he's like in his 20s, but he sells high schoolers alcohol illegally. He also sells guns. he's an arms dealer. He's the homie. He actually has a heart of gold.
He was my favorite character in the whole movie.
He gives that black guy the gun on loan.
Yeah.
Just good faith.
Literally to keep him safe.
He's like, stay alive so you can give that back.
Yeah,
and then he's like, I will. And they just give each other this look. Like respect. Like, you stay alive.
I also love how many secret compartments this man has. It's like 7, dude. It's when in his stereo, his like old stereo flips up.
He hits the cassette deck, pops up. There's like a 44 Magnum inside.
Yes.
He hits like a button on bottom of his bookshelf at like there's like an underhanging swing out shelf with an assault rifle in it.
Dude, when we have our compound, everywhere.
Every surface contains a weapon. But he gives the girl this ring. It's like his dad's or his grandpa's
kept her safe during the war.
He's like, my dad said he wore this during the war and it kept him safe. Maybe it'll help you. And he gives her this like hug and a nod and gives her the ring before sort of the final scene. And no reason for him to need to do that. No. Just the kindness of his heart.
Yeah. He was, probably the most like wholesome character the whole show, which is really funny.
He has one of the best moments in the movie too, where he pulls up. He's in the back of the truck bed. His friend is driving a truck. They pull up to the parking
was driving
lot.
in the truck.
Yeah, his dad's like, my son's a fuck up. Don't mind him. They pull up to outside of like an active crime scene
At a school.
Pretty sure a murder just happened.
Yeah.
There's police. They're conducting interviews. And he just yells, blunderbuss, and fires a musket into the air. The cops are like, what the fuck?
Dude, sweet.
The fact that they didn't shoot back and arrest him is mind-boggling.
Well, they know. This is a standard him.
It's small town shenanigans.
Yeah, absolutely.
You fire blunderbusses.
You shoot into the air at potential civilians all
Your
the time.
dad says, oh, my son's just a fuck up, and it diffuses the whole situation. The cops don't even need to do anything else.
Oh, shit. And so this is all set in Plymouth, too? Massachusetts?
Yeah, Plymouth, Massachusetts.
Jesus
These characters have the thickest Boston accents.
Yes.
It was
some of
so
them, yeah.
funny.
Yeah. God.
I don't have a great Boston accent, so I'm not even going to try.
Nah, we shouldn't.
It was really funny.
More. It was a lot.
I can't remember anything they said
Yeah.
to even do the impersonation.
Just yelling stuff.
Very funny, though. The one like gym rat guy, he's like the coach. The camera zooms in. He's like he's like watching his student like do a bench press. He's like, you a pussy? He's like, you a pussy? Give me more.
Give me more.
He's like, give me 2 more. Pussy. He's
I know
like,
you can do it, pussy. Give me 2 more.
2 more. That's a boy. That a boy. He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
He's walking around. He's like, very good. Nice form, Lindy. You're champion. Like,
You're champion. You're doing good. Yeah.
that was ridiculous. That guy
Yes.
got his head spun.
Yeah, he's the guy. Yeah. He was looking backwards.
The accents were awesome. Really funny.
Mm-hmm.
The murders were so gory and incredible. The movie didn't take itself too seriously. It was sort of a love letter to the genre.
Yeah.
Knew exactly what it was trying to be, what it was trying to do.
Yeah.
Executed, I'd say, pretty perfectly. Like, the quality was good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the killings looked great. Everything. It was a banger.
Yeah.
Dude, honestly.
Kind of a banger.
Love this movie. Like,
I was not knowing what was about to happen.
so
going into this.
low expectations
Yeah.
for this movie, man. I was like, okay, this is going to be worse than Nightmare Before Christmas. False. Fuck Nightmare Before
False.
Christmas.
This movie is what you should be watching on Halloween.
Yes. 100%.
Thanksgiving.
That does not make any sense, but yes.
And they left it open for a sequel.
Yeah.
Not that we need one.
I would take one. I'd watch it.
Dude, I would watch it.
For sure. For
But
sure.
we
for
don't
sure.
need it.
No.
But they left it open. The body is never recovered
No.
of the villain.
Yeah.
He allegedly gets burned up in a fireball,
Incinerated. Yeah, right, dude.
but they don't recover the body.
This was never addressed. What the fuck were they filling those?
The float?
The float. What are they filling that shit with? Hydrogen?
Yeah, the camera shows the float.
Yeah.
Because the girl in the end has the blunderbuss,
Yeah.
and she's going to shoot the villain, you think.
Yeah.
But then she, like, points up, and the
the
camera's
turkey,
like,
dude.
okay, she's going to shoot the float. It's a giant turkey.
Yeah.
And then the camera shows the gas tank that's filling it up with, like, compressed air.
Yeah.
But it must have been, like, helium, like, whatever they were filling, like, the Zeppelins with in the 20s.
Yeah.
What was that famous one called?
The Hindenburg.
The Hindenburg. Whatever
That's
they
right,
were
yeah.
filling the Hindenburg with, they were filling this turkey with because it was severely flammable.
I want to say hydrogen,
It was a hydrogen turkey bomb.
right? I don't know. I'm not a
I'm not a
historian.
science
I'm
man.
a chef. I cook food.
Yeah. It exploded when she shot it with a blunderbuss.
Huge fireball, too. It definitely wouldn't have incinerated that guy, for sure. But we'll take it.
No, I mean, it would have burned his hair off,
Yes.
but I think he would have been fully intact. It was more like a flash in the pan
Yeah.
kind of explosion. Like,
Yeah. He's going to come back so scarred for number 2.
And they sort of almost foreshadowed that because when he turns the oven on to cook that lady, he sets his mask on it, and the mask melts.
Oh.
And he wears the mask, but it's like droopy on one side and a little bit disfigured.
It's way creepier when
It's
done
actually
like
very
that.
scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, they sort of, I think maybe they were foreshadowing that he's like going to be burned.
Little Harvey Dent situation.
Yeah, a little
Two-Face.
Two-Face.
Shit. That's pretty good. Well, sweet.
Well,
That's
I'm going to cue this outro music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never gets old.
That's our first foray into controlling our intro and outro music in real time.
Yes. There's going to be a lot of new forays into all sorts of things coming up.
As we start to introduce multiple camera angles and live audio, maybe we'll start watching clips like we did in the audio.
Totally.
Maybe watching clips in real life.
You guys get to see them.
Showing the video.
Isn't that crazy?
It's becoming like a real podcast.
Oh, slowly but surely. No, more to come. More
and
good
for
to
the
come.
record, this pumpkin is starting to get soggy.
Is it? Ooh.
Because it's been like 3 weeks since we recorded the Halloween special.
Yeah, it was.
And these are those pumpkins.
We're good.
That's behind the scenes.
You'll never know.
That's magic.
Hell yeah, man. What a good movie. That was fun as hell.
Yeah, I recommend it.
Yeah, definitely. Even if you're a little squeamish, just do it.
Just close your eyes. You can tell when someone's going to get fucked up.
Every single time.
Close your eyes.
Yeah.
They never really shock you in a moment where it's not meant to be
Shocking.
happening.
Yeah, definitely.
You see it coming. It's not just random jump scares.
Hell yeah, man.
All right, y'all.
All right. Booty whiskey.
Peace.
Welcome to Plymouth Rock. It's time to set the table. There will be no leftovers in this unholy fable. It's given, Thanksgiving, murder's going down. Welcome to Gravy Town. Turkey, gravy, stuffing time. Parsley, oil, salt, and crime. Tell me what you're thankful for. Tell me what you're thankful for. Berries, biscuits, butters, basted corn and beans and getting wasted. Tell me what you're thankful for. Tell me what you're thankful for. They didn't kill the black guy first. They didn't even kill him ever. Subverting expectations. Eli Roth is fucking clever. Turkey, gravy, stuffing time. Parsley, oil, salt, and crime. Tell me what you're thankful for.